Welcome back to the Sanctuary, Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn, and our little trip down memory lane. We're in the throes of the storyline of patch 2.1 so far, A Realm Awoken. Last episode, we focused mainly on Minfilia's ever-growing efforts to avoid leaving the Waking Sands, even though it's the only way to maintain our neutrality. But thanks to Philomene and Alphino, she has now resolved to move the Scions of the Seventh Dawn from Vesper Bay in Western Thanalan to Mordona, a central location that will remain strictly neutral. But before we continue on with our storyline, let me recap the rules for those who are not aware. I'm doing this through my main character, Chris Valentine, on New Game Plus. I'm doing this expansion as Meteor's Job through the promotional art, so I'm running as Warrior. All the instances I run will be done through duty support, with the exception of normal raids, alliance raids, and duties that are not supported by duty support. And finally, I am wearing quest level appropriate gear. As we are already max level for the expansion, in terms of gear, we are now moving on to the max level gear of that particular patch. As such, I am currently wearing the Warrior's attire, which was the only one available, which was the best in slot back in A Realm Awokening. Awoken. Let's go side by side. Anyways, Episode 51, Helping Out in Revenant's Toll. Yeah, we've got a lot to do and only a little bit of time to do it, and I don't want to be taking an hour and 4 minutes. So let's move on to our next quest, Laying the Foundation. Well, let's continue laying the foundation because the cutscene we saw in the last episode was the start of this quest. Anyway. Do you ever wonder how he does it? Alphino, I mean. It was almost predictable that he should appear with an emissary of the Adventurers Guild. It was almost predictable that he should appear with an emissary of the Adventurers Guild mere moments after I had expressed the need to forge ties between our organizations. Surely his sense of timing rivals even your own. Setting such mysteries aside for the present, I have 2 tasks for you. Oh, we have only 1 task. What do we have for 2 tasks? Deliver the documents to Slathborn and... Okay. I would like you to deliver these documents to Slathborn. They concern our forthcoming move. The second task was to, place ourselves at his disposal. But anyway, back to Mordona. There's old Slaffy. What here? Oh, the Allegan barding. Holy crap, that's pretty sweet. Got a... Sorry, not here to gawk, but I will look for that. I was told to expect a scion, but I didn't expect it to be you. Been far too long, Chris. You have something for me, yes? Here you go. Let's see now. Yes, everything appears to be in order. You'll be staying with us for a while, yes? Would that we had a dozen more like you. Since we don't, though, we'll just give you the work of a dozen men. I jest. Alright, we had to help Slathborn with checking protection before. Oh wait, we had to. Oh, this is when we had to do Sunken Temple. Oh my god, we had to do Sunken Temple of Karn way back in the day. I forgot. This was one of the side dungeons that we had to do in order to... clear things. Ah, Sunken Temple of Karn. If you want any sort of... Oh, wait. Was I a dipshit? And yep, I just... I tried doing it myself, and then I was like, nope. I just ran it with a party. I remember this dungeon being tough, and a lot of people forgot how to do the first boss. Yeah, we're just fast forwarding through this because honestly, I don't want to. That dungeon was such a bitch back in the day. Fucking the Dung West. Did we literally do the boss? We did the first boss 3 times back in the day. Oh my god. Oh my god, I keep remembering how much of a bitch this dungeon was back in A Realm Reborn because everyone... Oh, whoops. Let's fast forward through a bit. Oh, and if you want a tip as to the scales, let me back up a bit. Fire on the flame of magic. It's flame of magic on the left, fruit of knowledge on the right. And you get a nice little extra coffers for your troubles. But yeah, we had to do that whole fucking dungeon for no better reason than to find a ward stone. I kind of miss those days. Of course, then we can... Oh, and we also had Better Late Than Sever, in which we had to wait for a, we had to search for a... Oh, a missing carriage. Oh, we had to go all the way in the Ixali grounds. I remember now. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. And back then, I was streaming on PS4 back then. It was a bitch. I forgot how much of a bitch that quest was. All right, we got our shipment. Oh, and we had to, oh my god. 3 quests that we've already covered. 3 quests that are no longer there. Destroying Garlean crates to deal a blow to Garlemald again. I am so glad we don't have to deal with that shit anymore. Oh, and then... And then 4 quests! Jesus Christ! How many quests do we have to do? Are we finally... There, number 5! The singing shard! Answering the call! Oh my god, all these quests! No wonder I fell asleep. Okay, let's talk to Slathborn. Back to do the work of a dozen men, I see. Ha! But even I can appreciate that an important man such as yourself has little time for menial tasks. But since you're here, maybe you'd be keen on having a look around the Scion's new home. See that impressive structure over there? That's the place. Oh, we have a new quest. Let's check it out in gameplay. It was originally built to house a branch of the guild, you see. As such, it comes complete with a tavern where adventurers can rest from the road, fill their bellies with good food and drink, and their ears with tales of fortune to be had about the realm. It may get a bit raucous at times, but I imagine it'll be as good a place as any to recruit capable men and women to your cause. Come with me, I'll show you around.
Is that you, Chris? Is that you, Chris? I'm quite sorry to interrupt, but I have most urgent news. We received grim tidings from Gridania, and it would appear our aid is required at once. I must ask you to report back to the Waking Sands with all due haste.
Everything quite all right, friend? I can't say I'm privy to the details, but it would appear that this is no time for a leisurely tour. But no worries. You can rest assured that I'll see to all the necessary arrangements. Pray, return at any time after you've seen to your more pressing matters. All right. All right, we have to go back to Horizon. We had to speak with Alphino back in the day. I had to gather packages back then. While we travel, we'll just continue. Oh God, the things we do for wow, we had so many quests. Oh, we had to get tea leaves for Tataru. Wow, I can't believe we crashed so many times. Okay, dude, we... All right. So after making tea,
A messenger from the twin...
now we can do it's possibly a primal. We are caught up now.
A messenger from the Twin Adder came to the Waking Sands while you were in Mordona. I wasn't privy to his conversation with the antecedent, but I did see the look on her face after he took his leave. Something is definitely amiss. Could it be that the Ixal have summoned Garuda again? Or maybe Imperial forces have been sighted within the Shroud? Well, whatever it may be, I'm absolutely certain there's nothing you can't handle. Now, go and ask the antecedent if there's anything you can do.
Wow, we had like 5 quests before we got to it's possibly a primal. There you are, Minfilia.
I knew this day would come, yet I prayed it would not come so soon. We have reason to believe that another primal, or an entity resembling one, has been summoned in Gridania.
Thine arrival is customarily timely, Chris. The etheric waves leave little room for doubt. Thy talents will be needed ere long. If there be truth in my suspicions, 'tis a familiar foe we face, though one quite unlike the Lady of the Vortex.
We dare not draw conclusions without evidence, but as Oriange says, the readings bear a strong resemblance to ones observed more than 5 years ago. Though I had hoped the Moogles gone beyond such follies. Suffice it to say, this disturbance warrants a full investigation.
Thy presence hath been requested by Commander Helwa. He awaiteth thee at the Adder's Nest.
Pray, hasten to Gridania, Chris. Ida and Papalima will rendezvous with you there. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
All right, off to Gridania. This has got to be the biggest. Ugh. Let's talk to Versailles. A pleasure to see you as always, Chris. Thank you for answering my summons. Quite frankly, I could think of no one more qualified to... Ugh. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Allow me to explain. Not long ago, the Moggle Kublo Kop visited the Adder's Nest to request an audience with the Elder Seedseer. He spoke of an imminent threat to all Moogle kind, one which would imperil the entire Twelveswood if left unchecked. You proved an able ambassador to the Sylphs, and we would have you reprise the role in our dealings with the Moogles. The rest you should hear from Kublo Kop himself. He awaits you with the Elder Seedseer at the Lotus Stand. All right, off to the Lotus Stand. There's the Conjurer.
The other Scions have already arrived, sir. May I show you in?
Ah, the Lotus Stand. Wish I could stay, just visit from time to time. But no, only when Connie needs us.
Please, you have to stop them! But you mustn't kill them! They're not bad Moogles, Kubo! They're just misguided! A gentle, no, firm thrashing is in order. Yes, but no! Calm yourself, Kublo Cop! Can you not see that he hasn't the faintest idea what you're talking about? Be quiet this instant! Pray forgive his witless outburst, sister. Most grateful am I that you have come, Chris, and upon such short notice. Truly, Gridania could not wish for a more stalwart ally. But you are doubtless eager to know wherefore we summoned you. Our friend Kuplo Cop has brought to us news of a most unsettling development. It would seem that good King Moogle XII has returned to Eorzea. A curious thing to hear, I know. Truth to tell, I myself cannot say for sure if he is a genuine figure from history or some manifestation of Moogle mythology. Kuplo here would have me believe the former. Once upon a time, we Moogles served the gods in the heavens. It was quite nice up there. Unspeakably beautiful, unimaginably spacious, and with a literally endless supply of wine. Kapow! In spite of this, or possibly because of the last part, the gods eventually became discontented and started squabbling, which made life jolly difficult for the poor Moogles. So, good King Moogle XII, may his glorious name live forever, decreed that the time had come to leave Kubo. The realm of man would suffice, he said, so all the Moogles should live there instead. Unfortunately, the two realms are so far apart that we couldn't safely fly down. But good King Moogle XII, may his miraculous foresight ever be praised, knew exactly what to do, Kupo. He had a rope, you see, the longest one ever woven. This he nobly held while his subjects climbed all the way down to the world below. And that is how we Moogles came to this land, Kupo. All of us, except good King Moogle XII, may his courageous sacrifice never be forgotten. He alone would remain in the heavens, so that Moogle kind might at last know peace.
Except that he has not remained in the heavens, from what I understand. That being your reason for contacting us, yes?
I'll bet he tied the rope to something. Good thinking. Remind me again what the problem was with him returning to Eorzea? The problem, Ida, lies in the fact that he was summoned. It is our belief that good King Moogle XII is a myth made manifest via means akin to those employed by the beast tribes in the summoning of their gods. Wait! You're saying a handful of Moogles with a boatload of crystals wished really, really hard and he just sort of appeared? Would that even work?
What I cannot fathom is why they would even try. With Garuda humbled and the Ultima weapon destroyed, what new threat could have prompted them to take so drastic a measure?
Might that not be in itself the answer? Twice in the last half-decade, Eorzea has been brought unto the very brink of destruction, only to be spared at the last by the heroics of a chosen few. To you who braved those tempests and survived by virtue of your own strength, this latest period of peace will doubtless seem a welcome respite. But to those who had not the power to defend themselves, who were spared only by another's grace, this is merely the calm before the storm. I think the Moogles God are afraid of what tomorrow will bring, and that things may not end so well as they did yesterday. The fear has driven them to call upon a greater power, One they believe can be relied upon to protect their loved ones and their homes come what may. I assure you, the Moggle's gone only want to protect the forest from outsiders. But ever since the return of good King Moggle XII, may his boundless grace fill our hearts with love, they started to get a little carried away, Kubo. Verging on a lot, in fact. Like the selves who summoned Ramu, you mean?
We cannot discount the possibility that this entity is influencing the Moogles in a manner similar to that of a primal.
We share the same concern. Whoever or whatever the king may be, it is our belief that he poses a threat not only to Moogle kind, but to Gridania as a whole. Thus do we beseech you, Chris. Confront good King Moggle XII and drive him from our midst. Humbly, I do thank you. The sanctuary of the Moogles' god and their liege lord is concealed by magical wards. Brother Isumion of the Conjurers Guild will doubtless be able to offer an insight on how they might be dispelled. Pray, seek his counsel ere you proceed any further.
Ah, Brother Isumion. It used to be I used to think that his voice was that of, much like Chaos back in Xenosaga Episode 2. But then I saw the 1.0. All right, let's talk to Isumion. Welcome, Chris. Welcome. That you should be the one to face good King Moogle That you should be the one to face good King Moogle XII is of great comfort. To me and to the elementals both. As I'm sure you know, the Moogles are not by their nature a warlike race. Yet should the king be suffered to remain, it is like that his influence will bring about a change in them. Thus does it behoove us to defeat him quickly, before any lasting damage is done. Make whatever preparations you deem necessary, and inform me when you are ready to seek the king. Oh, I'm ready, alright. The wards barring access to the king's sanctuary can only be nullified through the use of enchanted keystones. The self-same method employed 5 years ago when the king was summoned to Eorzea. There we go. It was with great regret that we were forced to sanction the slaying of the Guardians who then held the keystones, for none were in our possession at the time. By the grace of the elementals, however, we have been spared that burden on this occasion. Oh, yeah, we used to have to kill the Moogles. Alright, anyway. Kuplo Cop confided in me. Kuplo Cop confided in me that he had been entrusted with a set of keystones by the Moogles' god themselves. Yet wishing not to betray their confidence, he begged me to find some other means to gain entry into the king's sanctum. Alas, I have been unable to do so, and dare not labor any longer, for fear that the Moogles might succumb to the corrupting influence of their liege lord, We must needs have Kuplo Kop's keystones, Chris. Pray, go to him and beg his assistance. He awaits you at West Shore Pier. Impress upon him our great need, and I am certain he will yield. Oh, I thought the dialogue had changed, but no such luck. But we can take the... I hated this fight back in A Realm Reborn. The fight was bullshit back in A Realm Reborn, and I've been told that there is now a significant change in it.
So, how are you doing, Kubo? Oh, he told you about that. Well, if there truly is no other way, I'll do it, Kubo. Take the ferry to Sweet Bloom Pier. I'll go on ahead.
Alright, off to Sweet Bloom. Alright, let's do it.
Don't you dare lie to me, Kubo! I know what you're planning, and I won't allow it! Open your eyes, Kubo! The king will never be satisfied, no matter how many crystals you bring him! We offered you a choice, and this is how you repay us? By consorting with this here? Imperials, Garleans, Sylphs, you're no different from the rest of them! Actually, you're worse, Kubo! Traitor to his kin's Moogles! He plots treason against the crown! Enough! Kuplo Kop will answer for his crimes soon enough, as will all who defy the will of good King Moogle Mog the 12th. May he reign forevermore, Kupo! The king is planning to purge the 12's wood of his enemies, Kubo! We've got to stop him before it's too late!
Alright, Kuplo.
The entrance to Thornmarch is deep within the bramble patch, Kupo. If you take me there, I can nullify the ward. But be warned, the Moogle's god has set traps to lure enchanted beasts. I can't hide from them, so you'll need to protect me, Kupo.
Alright.
Let's go, Kupo.
Oh, I have to escort him. Stay off my Moogle. He's squishy. wasn't sure if the wild boar pulls the Kuplo as well, so I didn't want to take the risk. Okay, he's at 100%. Oh shit. You were almost a Moogle sandwich. We are almost there. I had to do this fight in the middle of the frickin' in the middle of the damn log. We're almost there. All right, let's fast forward Bion's trip.
We're here, Kupo! I don't see any more beasts, do you?
All right.
Are you ready to face the king, Kupo? Then step closer to the ward. Raise your hand and focus. Like when you attune to an aetheryte, Kupo. I'll open the way for you.
All right.
The rest is up to you, Kupo. Now go and teach those foolish Moogles a lesson and send the king back whence he came.
Okay, Thorn March Hard, now accessible. Oh, we have to enter with a party of other players, so... You know what? Part of me wants to try this on my own. If only to see what would happen. You know what? We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna be stupid and try this. And this will be part of a highlight later, most likely. All right. Let's do it. Here we go. This will be interesting.
Kupo? Who in the seven hells are they? Meddling adventurers, I'd wager.
Moggle's Guard, to arms!
Defend the king, Kupo!
Alright, now to see how much this has changed in the...
Moggle's Guard, assemble! We must drive them out together, Kupo!
Oh, yeah. There's one. What did we have, though? I know we had Infuriate, but... so far, we're just heroes... so far, this is going pretty well. Furryfoot is down. You'll be blown to smithereens, Kupo! Oh, this might hurt. Yeah, that was kind of hurtful. Yeah, the Moggles now have a whole bunch of new attacks. That's just petty. Hail to the king, Kupo! To the king! Now for the fun to begin. You shall suffer for your transgressions against my subjects. And now begins our battle in earnest. Moggle's Guard, to arms! Your king has need of you! Oh, this reminds me. I know there's gotta be... Oh, okay. Whoops. Hearken unto me, brave Moggle's Guard. These villains must be punished. Oh, this one might be a little tough if I don't pop everything. Oh! That didn't hurt at all. Yeah, we were able to kill him in much faster time back then because he was a pushover and we knew what we were doing. Now let's continue on with our gameplay part. My God. Even soloing this with the best in slot for 2.0? Oh. Part of me is glad I didn't like this. A little bit more difficult, if only because of how I chose to nerf myself. But I might as well use some skills that I don't normally use. All right, what's going on here? Almost there. And there we go. Good King Moggle is dead. Now, what do we get for our troubles? A Mog Pawn Coffer and a Mellifluous Mog Tana. Oh, settlements in large settlements in non-instance areas, right? All right, let's go back to our side-by-side. You did it, Goopo! You did it! Good King Moggle, may his mighty soul rest in peace, is no more! I shudder to think what might have happened had you not stopped the Moggle's God when you did. Thank you, Chris. Perhaps now they will come to their senses and stop playing at fairy tales. Rest assured the chieftain will have choice words for them too. You should go and tell them Pukni Pak. You should go and tell Pukni Pak that the king is no more, Kupo. She's with Raya O at Camp Tranquil and can relay the news to the chieftain. All right. To Camp Tranquil we go. I always hated having to travel to do my White Mage quest here, because you actually had to jump for it. Do I believe my ears? Good King Mogulmog the 12th, may his magnificent virtue serve as an example to us all.
has fallen? Oh, Morgankind owes you a debt, Kupo. Ah, and I sense Raya O wishes to congratulate you as well. I shall let you two speak without fear of interruption.
All right, Raya O.
Your bravery in the service to the Twelswood and her Moggle shall not be forgotten, Chris. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tale of this great victory from the mouth of the man responsible. Pray, return to the Lotus Stand and treat her to a full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind.
You couldn't have just sent me back to the Lotus Stand with that? What a drag. All right, let's head back in. Hello again.
Chris, you are returned to us, unharmed and victorious. Thus I have two reasons to be glad. Yet many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in Thornmarch. Then it is as we feared. The king really is a primal. But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Moggles don't worship him, for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of.
Then mayhap the fault lies with the definition. The fact remains that, through a combination of the power contained in the crystals and the force of their collective faith, the Moggles called forth a being that by right should not exist. Moreover, when slain, said being left no corpse, the ether which comprised him instead being scattered to the four winds.
According to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal. But the mode of his manifestation was in every respect the same. Which means...
Asians! This whole business reeks of their handiwork!
They said it was a masked man who had taught them how years ago. But Gridania has no shortage of masked men. And I never thought to question.
Confound it all! How many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts?
Too many, I fear. So long as there are paragons to stir the embers, fools to build the pyre, and crystals to feed the flames, ever and again shall we suffer the primal visitation. A somber thought, but a salutary one. My heartfelt thanks, Chris. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Serpent Marshal and I have much to discuss. Oh, before you do, my lady, I was hoping we might finish discussing that other matter. The matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scions shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Revenant's Toll. We knew we could count on you, my lady.
While Ida and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seedseer, mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands and apprise the antecedent of all that has transpired. Sounds good to me. I think this episode is running a little way too long. All right, seeing as how we now have flying in a Realm Reborn, which we didn't back then, I'm just gonna go by way of flying because I'm tired of running everywhere and taking the Chocobo Porter. Plus, it's 9:40 and I want to just relax. So, Bayan, would you like an expedition on your journey? And there. All right.
It is good to see you are hale and healthy, Chris. I received word from Ida and Pampalimo that you had felled good King Moggle the 12th, but I had hoped to hear your version of the tale. So it was as they said. Summoned with the same methods used by the beast tribes and taught by the Asians. Though unfortunate, this incident did at least serve to remind the Elder Seedseer of our usefulness. Her offer of additional support could not have come at a better time. My thanks, Chris.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Owing to the tireless efforts of all concerned, we are at long last ready to bid farewell to Vesper Bay. So as to avoid drawing undue attention, we shall make the journey to Revenant's Toll in small groups, departing at irregular intervals. Lest you doubt, it is...
You know what? We are gonna actually call it for tonight. We will do that episode next time. I'm going to cause a crash on my Final Fantasy XIV because I'm too tired to do this. So unfortunately, we are gonna continue this next episode. And we'll come back to it hopefully tomorrow. We'll see what happens and how I feel. For now, though, we are going to call it a night, and we will continue with more. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned for final announcements. If you're watching on YouTube, here are the links provided, and we'll see you next time.